You are tuned in to the JDawg and Leevis show. After years of playing together in bands and tons of late-night conversations, it was decided that it was only fair we repeat it all here. Tonight on the JDawg and Leevis show, you will hear songs from the band Five Taco Special. In-studio guest Asian Matt. The JDawg and Leevis show, acoustically sound and sexy.
Hey there, Mr. Cisco guy. What secrets lie behind those eyes? Drawn to your domain like a fish to a lure. 128-bit or 64, it's really you I'm searching for. Wish your heart's firewall weren't so secure. Please renew my subscription. Hold me in your strong encryption. Your robust hardware makes my network come alive. Wish there were some other way, but I just can't see CNA. You get my ports all hot when you arrive. You won't need no alcohol to breach my IP protocol. I'm through with all the posers, freaks, and jerks. When I saw that catalyst in your hand, I knew you'd be able to route my WAN. Had to see for myself how your Cisco works. So Mr. Cisco, if you're able, set me on your routing table. Here's the access key to tunnel my VPN. Encryption algorithms broken, now my gateway's left wide open, unable to even block your incoming spam. Mr. Cisco, don't make me packet sniff your private key. Fire up your IPsec device. You can link into my patch panel with your gigabit fiber channel. Is it true that all Cisco men ping twice? Mr. Cisco, can't you see you made me a widespread vulnerability? You left me all exposed after our high-speed connection. Sure did love the crazy way you securely routed my sensitive data, but boy, you should have thought about virus protection. So listen, Mr. Cisco man, patch your switch as fast as you can before infection spreads out far and wide. You thought I was safe, yeah, that's what they say, but my payload's bigger than the Pirates Bay, and I'm the one who sucked your bandwidth dry.
Fist of Jesus.
Yes, fist of, oh gosh. Wow. We should have played that for Easter. Are you recording?
Yes.
Are you recording?
Leevis, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, stop.
Our very own Leevis once again, bringing you Mr. Cisco guy.
Well done. Well done.
That's an original, JDawg.
That is an original by
Yes.
which band is it played with now?
Generally, there's a band that did really well in the 90s called Five Taco Special.
I've heard of them.
I've heard of them as well.
Yes. And yeah, I wrote that during the very Five Taco Special days. And we have enjoyed it ever since.
And I'll have you know, tonight is the Five Taco Special. Special.
Now, what makes tonight's 5 Taco Special any more special than any other 5 Taco Special night?
I'll tell you what makes this 5 Taco Special that special is because we have in studio Matt the Asian.
No way.
Matt the Asian, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you, guys. I love being here so much.
If you have trouble understanding him, listeners, it's because he's
too-
from Hanover Park, Illinois, and they talk a little differently there.
They do.
That is just south of North Korea.
North Korea, Illinois.
Yes, yes.
So originally from South Korea.
I actually was born in Seoul, Korea, and I was adopted, and I came here when I was 1. But
What was that trip like?
it was rough. I mean, being jammed in that box with all the rice packing.
You remember it well, huh?
I do. It was.
You should see this guy when he
Arduous.
opens up a box full of like peanuts. He just like starts sweating and gets really nervous. And
It's okay, Matt. You're not going in.
I know. I'm going on a trip again. It's happening.
Can you ride on boats again? Are you good with that? I know you had a fear of boats for a while.
If it's a rice boat, yeah.
Oh, perfect. So yes, Matt the Asian in studio tonight, the third founding member of 5 Taco Special, which would be JDawg, Leevis, and Matt the Asian.
Yes.
So this is a very exciting show for us, and it should be exciting for you too, because we will be giving you samples of the 5 Taco Special library throughout the evening, some live, some clipped, and hopefully some explanations for what you're about to hear.
I think that's referred to as 5 Taco lore. It's
Yes.
the
I believe so.
vast, rich history that 5 Taco has built up over the years.
I mean, you think about it now. This is like 10 years old.
It is.
At least.
I know. That's crazy.
And somehow we're going to cram it into an hour.
I mean, this isn't something we just came up with yesterday. We came up with it yesterday, 10 years ago. So yeah, different titles tonight. A couple of those titles you're going to be hearing. Bloated Bluegill is one that you'll be hearing tonight. That
It was
is
one of the first ones, if I remember correctly.
one of the first ones, and then we'll talk about that. You also have Obesity. You'll hear Fat Girl is Gone. Got lots to say about that.
There is a long and beautiful history on that
Speaking
song.
of lore,
It's more of a wide story than a long story. And then I believe another one you'll hear is Jaguar.
okay.
Jaguar.
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 It
Jaguar.
depends which continent you come from.
Yes.
How whether you pronounce that you.
How do they say that in South Korea?
Jaguar.
Thank you.
I think that is the
Thank you for clearing
appropriate
that up.
pronunciation.
Which I'll have you know, it's not Korea, but you know, it's close.
The Orient.
But went on and checked the statistics for the show, and we all know that France and Ireland are listening to us.
Absolutely. We love you, Europe.
Guess who jumped into that? We're outside of Europe now. We've gone to another country,
Really.
Japan.
And who do you think is responsible for that?
Well, I'm sure it's like a long lost uncle of yours
That's
that got a job in Japan, and
that's my cousin Ping.
thank you, Ping. So yes, 0.02%
Wait,
of
your
our
cousin's a panda? It's all become clear to me now. That makes so much more sense.
Is it true that you can make a panda go in cedar chips in a box?
It is true.
Is that true?
It is true.
I've heard that story.
A little bamboo and, oddly enough, whiskey.
And you can actually get a panda to smoke cigars while he's drinking the whiskey.
That's true. That's true.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard it. I mean, you've been there.
I've been there.
I mean,
And
you were there till you were 1.
when I was at the zoo, they had a panda smoking a cigar, drinking whiskey, and oddly enough, when the female trainer went by, he slapped her in the ass.
That's a well-trained panda.
It is.
Nice.
Clearly trained in Western ideals.
Yes. Yes.
Well, the interesting thing about that, having 0.02% of our listening audience in Japan, is we are now, I guess you could say, worldwide. Because
That's true.
when you only have one extra continent, it's not really worldwide.
Yeah, because you can boil it down to one extra time zone. That somehow some other time zone got involved, but when when you're going global, then there's just no denying it.
Correct.
We are everywhere.
So we are everywhere. And hopefully we'll gain one more country after this show. Maybe we can get another. I don't know if Australia's ever going to listen to us though.
I don't know if they will, but
But if we played a song that Five Taco Special has covered, we would probably have them coming in groves.
that's true.
Groves.
Droves.
That's what I said.
Droves.
They would be coming in droves.
Any Australian would know that saying.
Well,
Any true Australian.
they would say it with an accent though,
They would.
It would sound cooler. I mean, I'll give you that.
and they would come if we played that song "Land Down Under," which Lee
Oh,
covers and
yes. We've
covered
brought
that.
to a Five Taco Special song.
We've done
or,
that.
concert
We've
before.
done that.
Yes. So, without further ado, I think we should just open up with a live song here.
Okay.
So, Lee, why don't you go ahead and grab the guitar there?
Okay.
And Lee can actually do that now because I gave him an extender for his headphones. So he can actually reach over and grab the guitar
And not yank my head to the floor.
without holding onto my shoulder and have one foot in my crotch while he's leaning over grabbing the guitar, trying not to lose
Although
the
that
headphones.
does take the fun out of it.
Well, I guess you could call that fun.
All right, what am I
So
playing?
what song are we going to do first?
I think we should do a little ditty called Obesity.
O-B-C-T.
T.
Correct. Yes.
Pronounced obesity.
Yes. It's the acronym for obesity, which you would boil down to OBCT.
Which is a very large problem right now in the United States amongst children. So, this song's for you.
I don't know why I'm laughing. That's hilarious. Fat children.
Yes, and people in North Brown Studios currently.
Correct.
All right. Am I singing this? Who's singing this?
We'll just...
Who's the lead singer on this?
This is a 10-year
You
reunion
are.
of Five Taco Special, but nobody remembers any of these
No.
songs, so...
I mean, we were on drugs most of the time.
Most of the time. It's kind of what inspired the band.
That's true.
Obesity, it doesn't work for me. So I went and had surgery. Obesity. We'll do that one more time.
All right.
So everyone can jump in.
You want me to jump in?
Yes, that would be great.
Obesity,
it doesn't work for me. So I went and had surgery. Obesity. You know what I'd like to see? My toes wiggle at the end of my feet. No more Krispy Kreme for me. Obesity. Obesity, it doesn't work for me. So I went and had surgery. Obesity. No more sweets, no more sugars. They'll be double looking like they're looking at hookers. There's no back on this baby. Obesity. Obesity, it doesn't work for me. So I went and had surgery. Obesity. No more gut, no more girth. All the boys' pants will start to hurt while they're drooling over me. Obesity. Obesity, it doesn't work for me. So I went and had surgery. Obesity. One more time. Obesity, it doesn't work for me. So I went and had surgery. Obesity. Oh me, oh my. Oh my, oh me. Obesity.
Yeah, that's about a fat girl.
It is. It is. It was originally written for a specific fat girl, if I remember correctly.
Before we go down that road, more specifically, we did not write the lyrics for that song. If
That's
you
true,
remember.
too. We do need to shout out who actually wrote the lyrics.
I think it was an angry Irishman who wrote the words for that song.
What a great correlation.
It was
Yes,
Seamus
yes.
O'Leary, wasn't it?
Yes,
Seamus O'Leary.
Seamus O'Leary, the one and only.
The one and only Seamus O'Leary. And it's actually, if you want to go down that road, it's more of a super highway. Because she needs the room.
That's true.
She can't really travel down a two-lane highway.
Not so much anymore.
Two-lane road.
Well,
Yeah, we'll get to that.
yeah.
But let's just say Five Taco Special was inspired, and Seamus was inspired by a girl that had trouble with obesity.
Do tell.
Well, I don't want to give out any names. Let's say her name was Rachel.
Just hypothetically.
Hypothetically. That's a good pretend name.
And usually when you're large, you don't have a whole lot of room to be mean or cruel or
Very well chosen words
or
there, JDawg.
indecent. You kind of got to just be that jolly old person that you should be when you're large. You know, the one that everybody laughs with, everybody wants to just have fun, and you can't be mean. You can't be mean and fat at the same time.
Okay.
It doesn't work
How do you know this?
because, well, let's take you for instance, Leevis.
Okay.
Hot.
Take me, for instance.
Hot. I would love to
I
take
would take
I have the body for radio. That is absolutely true.
Leevis is hot. He works out. He works out a lot. He's ripped. Don't let him fool you. So Lee can be mean because he's hot.
That's true.
I mean, think of girls. I mean, most average guys now, except for Lee. Let me talk to you for a second here, Matt.
So you're talking just to the average
Lee,
men.
just hold on a
I'm
second.
the average guy.
So you take an average Joe like me or Matt here, and you got a completely hot girl.
Right.
Perfect breasts,
Yes.
bubbly little booty, tight little tummy,
Continue.
and she's all dressed. Dressed the way that you want a girl to dress. And she comes to you and says, "You're an asshole, but I would love to have sex with you." Mm-hmm. What's the answer?
Well, it's obviously yes.
Yes. So you can get away
Yes,
with that.
I am an asshole.
Now, Rachel comes to you. Large Marge, as we like to.
Hypothetical Rachel.
Hypothetical Rachel. I'm just making that name up because I don't want to throw names out there.
Yeah.
And she comes to you and says, "Matt, I want to have sex with you. What do you say?"
I think I just got a little vomit in my mouth. But
And you laugh.
you laugh.
And then she laughs, and it's a joke because she's funny.
Right.
But you can't be fat and mean.
Yes.
So, she actually was fat and mean.
Yep. And the thing I always said about that is fat people get married all the time.
But mostly to other fat people.
Well, yeah, but that's because they're nice to each other. You know?
Well, they get married for the right reasons.
Right, exactly. And if you're a big, fat, mean biatch, then yeah, it's just not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. And it didn't happen. I don't know if she's married yet.
I don't think so.
So anyways, Obesity was written. And then there's another song that you'll hear tonight called The Fat Girl Is Gone. Fat Girl Is Gone is because we lost our fat girl. We lost our center.
Like your keys? How do you lose a fat girl?
There's another story about keys, too. And we lost the fat girl because she went and had the surgery that is alluded to in the Obesity song.
Yes.
So then the fat girl was gone.
Yes.
So pretty much Five Taco Special had no more material.
But then one day, Mr. JDawg here just whips out a guitar and says, "Hey, I wrote this the other night." And Fat Girl Is Gone was born.
It was born.
Yes.
And it was beautiful.
And I think actually that's probably what we should. Without
like
further ado, we should probably just go into Fat Girl.
Yes.
That's what I'm thinking. All right, I'm going to try and do this from memory here. 10 years. I mean, when you're talking about a reunion, we didn't really reunite anything before tonight. All right, so Fat Girl Is Gone.
You're listening to it raw, folks.
Back me up, boys.
Gotcha. In my manner.
She used to have such a chubby face. She used to eat food at a lightning pace. All the jokes are over. Fat girl is gone. She used to bitch about Matt and me. I secretly think she hates Brian and Lee. All the jokes are over. Fat girl is gone. So take the staples out, let it all hang out. Show us what a big girl you can be. You think you're hot, but we still know you're not, even though you're skinny. You're still a bitch. It's like riding a fat girl. Colonial will have to close their doors. They won't be selling kitchen sinks no more. All the jokes are over. Fat girl is gone. Chinese buffets used to shake in their boots, but now there's plenty of tofu and bamboo shoots. All the jokes are over. Fat girl is gone. So take the staples out, let it all hang out. Show us what a big girl you can be. You think you're hot, but we still know you're not, even though you're skinny. You're still a bitch. You're our bitch. Very nice.
Beautiful.
Very nice.
Brings a tear to my eye.
I was
Oh,
gonna say,
man.
let me wipe this tear.
Those were the days. You know how many times that song had been requested?
Oh my god.
Oh, my Lord. As a matter of fact, it was requested tonight by a couple of people. Said, I hope I hear about the fat girl tonight. Well, there you go. That's for all of you that wanted to hear about the fat girl. So yeah, that was the song we wrote after she had the surgery.
Yes.
True.
And other augmentations.
I was just going to ask, it wasn't. Why do I think that there were 3 songs that were fat girl songs? Specifically around this one? Or was it just the
I think
2?
it was just the 2.
Well, you needed at least 3 songs to get around her. 1 or 2 didn't.
I mean, that's a good 9 minutes to walking time there, you know.
Right.
Ouch.
So was there a third?
I don't think so.
I don't know. I was just thinking that we kept coming up. It seemed like every time we sat down to write something, it was a song about hypothetical Rachel.
Hypothetical Rachel.
And could be wrong on that.
Yeah, that one became a very big hit.
As far as Five Taco hits
As far as
goes.
5 Taco hits go.
Just looking through the official 5 Taco songbook, I did not see another one.
Okay.
So
I'm actually amazed you still have the official 5 Taco
look
special
at this thing
songbook.
is 10 years old.
It's a green folder, and the upper, like if you open it, the top where the crease is completely tattered and torn. In the bottom right hand corner, it says Community Consolidated School District 15.
Huh.
So not only
That's odd.
it's traveled through 2 different school districts, I believe. But as I look through it, everything inside is in pristine condition, all in laminated
And
I was going to say,
papers.
it's amazing what...
If you look at that paper in the back right there, that is the actual paper that we wrote a song on. I don't remember which one it is.
I see it. It's for Running with the Mills.
That's the actual piece of paper that the song was originally
I believe
written
this
on.
is the edition that Lee wrote to Running with the Mills. It was at the end. It was the part about the gilfs.
Yes, getting into gilfs. Sure.
And do we have to explain what gilf is?
You can Google that.
I don't
You
think
can
so
Google
anymore. I think that's more of a... 10 years ago, it was very avant-garde, but I think MILF and GILF have...
Feel free to hit the
it
Googles.
was in a movie, actually, which...
The Gilf was?
Yeah. What's the one with... I want to say it's Ryan Reynolds and the Silver Fox. It's one of the college movies. PCU.
Van Wilder, maybe?
Yeah, or PCU or
Yeah,
one of
something like
those.
that.
Yeah.
Well, here, let me type gilf into Google and see what we get.
I'm sure it'll be fantastic.
Let me lend you a hand with that, Lee.
If
Yes.
only we had the power of the internet at our fingertips.
Yes.
Yeah, that internet can really get you into trouble.
I can.
Let me put in South Korean gilf and see what we get. Oh,
For our in-studio guest.
Now, before everyone thinks that we're a bunch of jerkwads, for writing these songs.
too late.
I think we're a bunch of jerkwads, and I know you personally.
Well, that's true. That's true. And you have good authority on that. But the whole point of these songs is that don't be a bitch.
Really? I mean, when
Really,
it comes down
that's-
to it,
Yeah, that's the
fat,
whole...
skinny, hot,
Yeah.
ugly,
It
just
doesn't-
don't be a bitch.
Just don't be a bitch.
Or if you are a bitch, then a bunch of guys are going to sit in their basement and write songs about you.
Exactly.
Right.
And if you're okay with that, Or if you just don't know about it, then that's how it goes, I guess.
Well, let me give you an example of the bitchiness.
This was not like your regular run of the mill bitch.
No, it wasn't like out, like cussing and like directed at you. It was just
Or accidental.
Just mean.
just kind of mean.
Yeah, just
One of my favorite moments, the three of us, as we all worked together with hypothetical Rachel, and we were all in a building where we had a lot of work to do. It was like 9,700 degrees in the building. There was no air conditioning.
That was Kelvin, right? I mean, that's not even Fahrenheit.
Correct,
I mean,
that's
it's like
Kelvin.
Yeah, exactly.
Center of the sun.
And we got into the building. We started to do the work, and we were there for about an hour. And hypothetical Rachel showed up.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, well, it looks like everybody here is dying of heat. I'm going to go get some
Oh,
water.
I remember that.
And she
Yeah.
left.
Okay.
3 hours later,
Oh, I see.
she comes back with one case of water, 24 bottles, and said, where do you guys want to go to lunch? Now, direct bitch? No. Indirect? My Lord!
We're all dying, and she abandons us. Like,
We're 3 hours?
yeah.
What-
And if
Did she actually go to Fiji to get the water?
You don't know what she had to do to get the water.
We don't want to know what she had to do to the water. But
I still think she just went out back and just took her shirt off and wrung the sweat out into the bottles. Said, I'll show Jim and Matt, those sons of... Yeah.
and if I remember correctly, the explanation she gave, she started saying about she went to some place, they didn't have what she needed, so she went to another place. And it was like for 3 hours, I guess she did this. I don't know.
Well, she was searching for the Fiji water.
That's true. That's true.
Because Fiji water has that pretty little label on it that makes you think you're drinking off the
Island.
the breasts of an island woman or something, or wherever that water
The
comes
breasts
from.
of a volcano.
The
Is
breasts
that
of a
what it is?
volcano. So yeah, it wasn't like necessarily mean direct bitchiness, but it was definitely there.
Yes,
It was definitely
yes,
there.
definitely there.
So yeah, you got some songs written about you. So I hope you're happy. Hypothetical Rachel.
Works for me.
Hypothetical Rachel. We just call her HR.
You could, which brings up a whole nother story.
Yes. That is a fantastic
Hypothetical
story.
Rachel.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, I'm glad that we were able to write those songs because not only did they push us into stardom and got our career started in Five Taco Special and started that worldwide tour.
I was going to say, I hear we're big in Japan these days.
Japan,
Yes.
Ireland, and France.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So we toured all those countries, so they're definitely tuning in.
I hear Parvin Schmutzenberg is listening to us over there in Germany, France.
He was actually our agent in Germany, France. He is the one that booked the shows as we went through Germany, France. So that's how we met Parvin
nice.
Schmutzenberg.
Yes.
And he actually became a really close friend. Yeah, if you noticed in there, we talked about Chinese buffets in the song.
Yes.
Yes.
They were shaking in their boots.
Yes.
Yes.
That's not really a joke either. She was in a Chinese buffet with us. We were all eating together, and I swear the owner of the Chinese buffet was giving her the nastiest looks every time she went up to the bar, and she went up a lot. So I mean, the shrimp were shaken.
I thought you were going to say that the Chinese buffet that was the originator of that song was actually the one that was previously a Golden Bear, which we had talked about earlier.
Yes, it was.
In a previous
whatever the name
episode.
of that place was.
Yeah.
That's where the Golden Bear was across from Larkin High School.
Yes.
Absolutely. I saw a story this week. I guess it's kind of a segue into it about a sushi bar, which I guess is kind of like a Chinese buffet. You know,
Yeah.
Japanese, Chinese,
can
Korean.
have
You're
both.
all the same.
We're all the same.
So. How would a Korean say that?
A sushi.
A sushi. A sushi sandwiches.
A sushi.
So yeah, there was a story I heard this week that a gentleman went into a sushi bar.
This is going to be a great show if we don't get sued.
I know.
The glory of podcasting.
I'm not racist because I'm Asian.
Oh,
So I
fair
can make
enough.
fun of the Asians.
Sweet.
That's
What's-
why we brought him on.
What's my excuse?
It's just too easy to make fun of
Wait.
straight A students.
Yeah. I was gonna say if you want to make fun of dopey white guys, then we're covered.
There's plenty of that going around.
Represent!
So what I heard at the sushi bar,
Sushi.
at the sushi bar, was a man went into the sushi bar with his pet snake, and it was a small snake, and he set it on the table and
That
started
can't be a good idea.
to eat a sushi. Must have loved his snake. Who doesn't love their snake?
Everyone loves their snake.
I love my snake, but I try not to do it in a sushi bar.
Oh, then you haven't lived.
And put it on the table.
Exactly. I don't put it on the table at the sushi
Little
bar.
wasabi on the tip will do you.
Hey, just be happy that you can put it on the table, okay?
Without standing up. So, of course, the sushi bar owner said, "Get out. Get your snake out of here. You're scaring people." I don't know what kind of snake it was, but... And he left. 10 minutes later, he comes back with a 12-foot python and lets it loose in the restaurant. And to me... You know, if you're going to discriminate, this is what you get. Yeah. So the 12-foot python's crawling around the floor. Everybody's screaming, running out. They call the police. The man gets arrested. So that to me was a wonderful story. Now,
where did you say this happened? Was this in Hanover Park?
I think it was in Hanover Park.
Yeah. Okay.
Again, just south of North Korea.
Just south of North Korea.
Yes.
South Hanover,
Or
Korea Park.
West of East Korea.
Yes.
Those East Koreans. Yeah, probably the best Asian cuisine I've ever had, I must say,
Yes.
was prepared for me by Asian Matt.
Really?
Really?
When
Yeah.
did you get Asian cuisine from Asian
Oh.
Let me just tell you.
Yes. Yes.
Let me just tell you. Mr. Matt needed a brake job on his car.
Matt? Is that what we're calling it now?
That's what we're calling it.
Different than other jobs I've had.
Not a hand brake job. Just a brake job. Needed the, I believe it was the pads replaced.
Yes.
No rotors, just pads. And JDawg also runs JDawg Auto Repair.
JDawg is a good friend to have.
Yes,
So
he is.
I said, Asian Matt, why would you go pay someone to do that when you got good old buddy JDawg here that does it all the time on his cars?
Yes. Yeah.
And he said, "Oh man, that'd be great. I'd love to get an excuse to get out of the house. Come on over, just hang out." He's like, "But what could I do for you?" And I said, "I'll tell you what you could do for me." Hold on, let me hit pause. No, what he could do for me was cook for me, because Asian Matt makes a fantastic coconut curry sauce
Thank you. Thank you.
that goes with Penang chicken.
I believe he learned that in his days at IHOP.
I believe he may have.
Yes.
So he comes over, he brings all the ingredients, and while I'm out doing the brake job, got the car up on jacks and I'm underneath it, he's inside cooking. And he's not just cooking. I mean, there's steam pouring off that stove. He's got the fan on, the smells, the curry,
You had me
everything.
at Penang.
He's got the chicken frying, and my wife is standing in the living room in between the garage and the kitchen. And she's looking in both directions, trying to figure out what's happening. So she decided there's only one thing she could do, and that was to set a candlelight table. So she sets up 2 dishes with candlelight, and I believe there's flowers too,
I
if
think
I remember
so.
right.
I believe. Yes. Yes.
And when I came in with my greasy hands, I went over to the sink and I said, "Man, that smells good." And I was washing my hands, and he's like, "Oh, you're gonna love this. I put some extra ingredient on it." He just went on talking about it, and we sit down. He pours it on my plate, and he sits in his, and my wife comes over and says, "Before I leave the room, I just want to tell you how gay this is." And I said, "Thank you, honey." And man, this guy makes a Penang chicken like you wouldn't believe. And I will do anything to his damn car to get that Penang chicken again. You need a buff? I'll buff. You need a wax? I'll wax. So that's probably the best Asian cuisine I've ever had in my
Well,
life.
thanks. I didn't realize it was such a hit.
I think
I mean,
I think next time, Asian Matt, you should ask him to grease your ball joints.
I think I will. They need some greasing.
Both of them, please.
Yeah.
Both. Now, That's a weird food story, but it's not the weirdest food story I have.
Really?
Do you want to hear the weirdest food story?
I think it's pretty weird that you know somebody that's been to Penang that can make Penang.
Isn't that Penang Park? Isn't that right next to Hanover Park?
That is, again, a little more south than Hanover Park, which is just south again of North Korea.
Yes.
So.
Probably the strangest food story I have, and maybe we'll get off the food stories. But I have to tell you this: when I worked at a place called Wheaties, and I'm sure you've heard of South Elgin.
Yes,
as we've
I
talked
have
about
heard of South
before
Elgin.
in my teenage years, and
I did not realize you worked there.
It's just east of West Elgin.
Yes.
it's east of West South Elgin.
Yeah.
And I worked at Wheaties, and Wheaties was like a hot dog joint, hamburger joint. It was just like a corner grill kind of thing. So, anyways, I go to work, and there's another man. And
Wait, time out. You worked at Wheaties?
I worked at Wheaties.
That's what I said.
When
I
did
not
you work at
realize
Wheaties?
that this happened.
I worked at Wheaties.
You didn't work at Wheaties. I know every place that you've worked because...
Let me show you my tattoo. Here, look at this. What does it say right there? Wheaties number 678329.
All right. I guess you only get that if you work at Wheaties.
That's true.
So I was there with a man, and believe it or not, his name was Matt.
What?
Matt Coker was his name.
Okay.
Matt Coker was a triangular man, as I like to call it. Because
like with the point at the top or the point at the
point
bottom?
would be at the bottom, at his
Okay.
waist,
All right.
and the
Yes.
triangle goes up, and he's just solid muscle, big shoulders, giant neck, and he's working at Wheaties, just scaring the hell out of me every time I see him, thinking that at any moment, if I flip this burger wrong, he's going to flip me and break my neck. So we're working.
Okay, time out. So Wheaties hot dog stand has burgers.
Well, it was burgers, fries,
okay.
onion rings.
I'm just trying to shoot holes in your story because I've known you for like 130 years and I never knew you worked at Wheaties!
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. This is the first time I've ever heard of this.
Yes.
Didn't know Wheaties was that important.
It is. Obviously.
It's just amazing that it never, with all the talking you do, that it never came up.
Well, then isn't it grand that I'm telling you this frickin' story right
This
now?
is the first time I've heard this. So,
beautiful.
okay, sorry.
So in
Matt
Whe-
Croker,
in
the
Wheaties-
triangular man.
If I'm standing at the front counter, I can see the people coming up to the counter.
Makes sense.
If I look to my left, I can see the kitchen, but the people at the counter can't see the kitchen. So from my vantage point, I can see both.
Gotcha.
So two guys come in, Matt sees them coming, and he says, "I hate these guys." And I went, "Oh, God. What's going to happen?" And he runs back in the kitchen. He says, "You take the order. I'm not doing it." So these two gentlemen come in. They make their order, and of course they had to order hot dogs. So I call it back. 4 hot dogs. They each ordered 2 and fries. 4 hot dogs. And the music starts. He turns on, if you're familiar with B96 in Chicago,
Yeah.
Okay.
back in the 90s and the 80s, it was your heavy bass beats. So that music starts. The 2 guys go and sit down and wait for their order. All I see is him dancing with 2 hot dogs in his hand, waving them around on both sides to the beat, and the hot dogs are wiggling in his hands. And then he shuffles over and kind of disappears from my view deeper into the kitchen. When he comes back into my view, all I see is a hot dog sticking parallel to the floor, wiggling between his butt cheeks.
Oh, my God.
He's got it held between his butt cheeks, dancing, and the thing's flopping back and forth, hitting each cheek, and he's got this big grin on his face, and I'm just standing there with my mouth on the floor, and I look over at these 2 poor souls, and I'm thinking, do I tell them? Because if I do, Triangular Man's going to kick my butt.
Right.
And then he fades back off into the kitchen with the hot dog between his cheeks. Didn't take his pants off. They were on his ankles. But he was naked. Then when he comes back, he's got the buns and the hot dogs in his hands still dancing. And he's shaking the hot dogs and he puts them down and he wraps them up and he puts them down and says, "Order up."
Oh, my God.
And here I am between Triangular Man and the 2 stoner guys out here waiting for their hot dogs, and they looked higher than a kite. And I said, "Your order's ready." And they came and got it, and I was hoping they would just leave, but no, they decided to eat in.
Oh, God.
So I had to watch them eat the hot dogs. That's the strangest food story I could possibly give you.
I
That's
don't
horrible.
believe. Oh my gosh. Okay, first of all, I can't believe that you've held that story in this long.
I can't believe you held that hot dog in for like 2 minutes, and it never came out. Side to side, up and down, and it never broke. I mean, Wheaties, they spared no expense. They bought quality hot dogs.
Yeah. Obviously.
Yes.
Able to withstand the butt slapping.
No.
But, okay, now, but I have heard. Go ahead.
No, I was going to go into a story, but go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I do believe you have a fish story that could almost top that story.
Maybe.
Only because it's personal.
Yes.
It is personal.
So-
And it actually affected me,
Yes, that's what personal means, JDawg.
which that... He's got a point.
Can I
Yeah, interject before.
interject?
Absolutely.
This is a real quick story. I have a similar story, and I'm not trying to one-up anyone. I'm just trying to...
But it was
Wait a minute,
it was
wait a minute.
Asian Matt's butt cheeks.
Wait a minute. A similar story.
Yes.
I didn't think there was possibly a similar story to my
Ah,
Wheaties
but
story.
you
But
didn't
there
know.
is.
You
There
didn't
is.
know that Asian Matt
There's
has
an
also
Asian version.
worked in the food industry.
Right. I think you referred earlier. I did work at IHOP.
At the IHOPs of Madison, Wisconsin.
Well, this one actually I started in Milwaukee, so this happened in Milwaukee.
Okay.
Real quick story.
Oh,
I
make it a
was-
long story. Go ahead.
All right. Back in the days, no, I was in my early 20s, maybe 20, 21 years old. So basically a young kid. And we had this manager, and her name was Theoretical Teresa. And
Okay.
Teresa was kind of along the lines of Theoretical Rachel. She was not a nice person.
Was she fat?
She was not fat.
I'm wondering if all theoretical people are mean.
I think pretty much.
They might be.
I think so.
Yes. So I worked third shift, but one day the first shift cook called in, so I had to fill in cooking for first shift. And there was this guy named Ike. Now, Ike was a large black man. And when I say large, kind of like your triangular man. He was all muscle.
And
Just
scary.
huge and scary. And me being a 20-year-old little Asian boy, he was very intimidating. So anyways, Teresa comes by. We all didn't like Teresa. Teresa comes by and just looks at him and goes, T-bone, medium rare, and walks away. And I'm standing there with this man, and he looks at me. He opens up the cooler, pulls out a T-bone. Right in the kitchen, which is open for everyone to see, he pulls out his Wing Wang.
Is that Korean? Can you define that for
no,
me?
I believe that's the Korean word for
That is the Korean
for
Wing
wang wing.
Yes.
Oh, all right.
Pulls out his Wing
Thank you for
Wang.
clearing that up.
Pulls out his Wing Wang, proceeds to wrap the T-bone around his around his Wing Wang, and then throw it on the grill. And he looks at me and says,
Wait a minute. Before you tell me what he said, hold on. With the Wing Wang,
yes.
was the Wing Wang soft? Was it kind of
come on,
nestled inside?
J-Dawg.
Like I need a good visual here.
I was not looking down. I was just like looking at him.
That's what the
generally.
internet
just-
is for, J-Dawg.
You just
if
saw
wanna
it
know.
engulfed in the steak.
I saw his arms moving.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? I didn't actually look at the process of what happened. So again, he wraps the T-bone in his Wing Wang, throws it on the grill, and looks at me and says, "Well, now she can't say she never had black Wing Wang." And I'm just standing there. I'm like, what the hell do I do? I want to leave.
well, I'm guessing the grill probably burned most of it off.
I would think so. You know, get a
don't
little.
Ike's wing wang, is pretty potent.
That's what I heard.
No, I mean I have wrapped steaks around my Wing Wang before, but I'm the one that ate them. I mean, that's gross.
But actually, that point does require some clarification. So this was a steak that theoretical Teresa was going to eat, not one that was just going out to some
That's
wing wang
correct.
out on the
Out
on the floor.
I'll say I worked in the restaurant business for 10 years, and that was the only time I ever seen anything like that happen.
You apparently didn't work at Wheaties.
I apparently.
I mean, there was plenty of people that dropped meat on the floor and cooked it. I mean, that's no big deal. But the only time you ever saw that happen, thank God that nothing that bad happened.
So if you see Ike in the grill area, I'm just saying.
Really, when you think about it, though, a T-bone. I mean, there's a big bone right down the middle. That might have been a little uncomfortable.
Again, I say wrap around, but again, like I explained, I didn't actually look.
Might have just been more of a massaging.
Yeah, he was. I'll just say he was working it. That's all I can say about that.
Oh. Little less red meat, everybody. Little less red meat. Eat more chicken.
I think that was more dark meat.
Oh. Yes. So cooking, ladies and gentlemen, and restaurants here on the JDawg and Leevis show.
Anyways,
maybe we need to have a segment where we review restaurants on their
I mean, you can
sanitation.
And pretty soon it's like, should I go to Yelp or should I go to JDawg and Leevis? Because I really need to know the truth about this restaurant.
Yes.
So, yeah, there's also a bluegill story, a bloated bluegill story.
Yes.
But first, I would like to actually, rather than do it live, I'd like to play the first clip that we ever did.
Okay.
Of JDawg Five Taco Special on the JDawg and Leevis show. I'd like to actually play the song, and then we will tell you exactly what that song's about when I'm done.
Sounds like a plan.
So let me get that going here.
Went down to the lake to smoke a little hooch. Something.
Hold it.
Went down to the lake to smoke a little hooch. Then something from the shoreline smelled like a dirty cooch.
Jim, your sister is here.
There was a bloated bluegill laying on the shore. Little bloated bluegill smelled like a dirty sock. Oh, bloated bluegill, you are a friend to me. Oh, bloated bluegill, you're my chicken of the sea. Everybody left the scene, I was the only one still there. Couldn't leave little bluegill all alone.
It's okay.
So I scooped him up with a little love and I brought him right back where I was thinking of. Slapped that bloated bluegill on the grill. Oh, bloated bluegill, you are a friend to me. Oh, bloated bluegill, you're my chicken of the sea. Some people brought steaks and some brought chops. Cook outside tonight. They even brought old Milwaukee to wash it down. Oh, yeah. Lifted the lid up on the grill and they got a big surprise. Nothing but bloated bluegill with his dead decomposing eyes.
Delicious.
Oh, bloated bluegill, you are a friend to me. Oh, bloated bluegill, you're my chicken of the sea. Chicken of the sea. Chicken of the sea. No. Chicken of the sea. Chicken of the sea. Chicken of the sea. It's a chicken. It's a chicken. Old MacDonald had a chicken and chicken of the sea. Chicken. Chicken of the sea. For damn it. Chicken of the sea. It's a chicken. A chicken. Chicken. Damn it! You've got to be freaking kidding me. Chicken of the sea. Chicken of the sea.
And that's why I wanted you to hear it in its original form. We could have played it live, but we captured that moment
We really did. I'm glad you decided to do that because I was a little concerned that we would never capture the essence of
Yes.
bloated bluegill again.
That's kind of like the Times Square kiss photo. It's like, just that. Oh, it's perfect.
Wasn't that actually the name of the album that we never released?
Times Square kiss photo.
I was thinking Bloated Bluegill, but
Oh,
that probably would have been
right,
a
my
much
bad.
better name.
Yes, it was, and actually, we even had an album cover for that.
We did have an album cover. You can find that on the Facebook page. I
Yes.
posted that today,
And
so
you can go to internetarchives.org and find the entire catalog of Five Taco Special.
correct.
for
I think
downloading.
I actually put that link right below
Oh, nice.
the Bloated
That's
Bluegill
nice.
photo.
I think it's just archive.org. It's
Is it just archive?
Yeah,
Okay.
archive.org.
Well, it's a good thing
Look
you're
for
here.
Five Taco Special.
and
Yes.
all of the hits are there.
All of
Every
them.
single one of them.
Yes.
So the Bloated Bluegill.
So JDawg actually wrote Bloated Bluegill, all on his own, and presented it to us, and then we added our little flair.
Yes.
But
yes.
yeah, go ahead. So what prompted Bloated Bluegill?
Bloated Bluegill came from a night in Algonquin, Illinois, right along the shores of the sandy Fox River beaches.
Isn't that just north of Crystal Lake?
It's north of southwestern Crystal Lake, Elgin. So Algonquin, Illinois. It was a party. There was going to be bands there. Local bands were going to play, and nobody was getting paid. It was just 100 people. Let's play bands and drink beer and bring whatever you want to eat. There's going to be grills. So
you brought Wheaties hot dogs, no doubt.
oh no, I brought a T-bone steak from IHOP.
The Ike specials, they go.
Ike special. So I brought a T-bone steak. I actually brought a T-bone steak. I didn't rub it on my winky, but I did bring a T-bone steak. And I put it in the fridge, and I was going to have it later, and I had a few beers, and we're all drinking. And there's a pond behind this guy's house. You got the river. You cross the street, there's this house, and there's a pond. So we're back there, and we're by the pond. Some guys were smoking the hooch, and some guys were... whatever you do when you're guys and you're by a pond. I guess whatever you do.
Do guy pond stuff.
Yeah, I've
So
been
we're
a
all
guy
hanging
by
out.
a pond
Yes.
on several occasions.
And I turned to a couple of guys. I said, dude, check it out. There's a bloated bluegill on the shore. And it's this bluegill that obviously had been dead for a couple of days. And he was all bloated up and full of the gases that you get when you die.
Lovely.
Beautiful.
So he was just kind of laying there, just festering, kind of looking. I think he was actually kind of looking at me. That bluegill eye of his.
Give you the eye.
I was like, that is just nasty. And we're all laughing. Look at the bloated bluegill, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's how the name came out. Well, then I go back and I'm like, I think it's time to eat. I'm going to go get me that T-bone out of the fridge. I'm going to throw it on the grill because everybody was cooking all night long.
Right,
There was
right.
like 3 grills out there. So I go get my T-bone and I throw it on the grill and I shut the lid and I go over and I grab another beer and good T-bone, 7 minutes. You flip it. And then you
Okay.
cook it another 6 minutes.
Uh-huh.
Not 7, another 6, 13 minutes total. You got a perfect T-bone. So 7 minutes later, I come over and as the song tells you, I lifted up the lid and right next to my T-bone was a bloated bluegill frying on the grill.
Oh man.
Gosh.
Not exactly what I wanted to see. And that steak did not get eaten, and I was very upset. But this was not the end of my night. That was just the first part of getting upset. Because have you ever heard of a beer bong?
So you lost your T-bone.
I lost
That's
my
the fir-
T-bone was gone.
That's the first tragedy of the
That's the
evening.
tragedy.
Yes.
The bloated bluegill himself, I mean, his tragedy was just the whole entire night. But mine was losing the T-bone.
Bad day to be a bluegill.
Logo. Yeah.
But the beer bong, have you heard of a beer bong?
I think I have heard of these things.
It's when you have a funnel and you put a tube on the funnel, and the tube is like maybe an inch wide,
yeah.
and you hold that tube up in the air and you put the funnel below the other end of the tube so that whatever you pour in the funnel stays in the funnel.
Okay.
So you pour like 2 or 3 beers in there. Then you put your mouth on the end of the tube, you throw the funnel up in the air, and it all drains down, and you drink 3 beers in like 5 seconds. Very popular amongst the 19, 20-year-old kids when I was a 19 and 20-year-old kid. So, of course, my night was ruined. I didn't have the T-bone, so now I have to set some kind of beer bong record to make myself feel better. So there's people doing
Clearly.
these all night. And I
Yes.
said, you know what? I'm going to do 4 beers. And I think, and if I remember, it was Schaefer's Light.
Schaefer's.
Is that
Schaefer's
the
Light was
step
the
down
selection.
from Old Milwaukee?
It's about 3 steps down.
So there's old Milwaukee, there's older Milwaukee,
And then there's Schaefer's Light.
there's oldest Milwaukee, and then you get into Schaefer's,
Yes.
and then Schaefer's Light.
And then Pabst.
And then Pabst is down there. PB Army. So somebody poured 4 cans of Schaefer's Light into the funnel, and I take it, and up I go. But little did I know, as I was doing this, about 5 people simultaneously threw their cigarettes into the funnel.
Oh my God.
And I felt something going down as the beers went down. I got all 4 down. But then once I realized what happened, I ran back to the pond to the very spot where I found the bloated bluegill and put all the cigarettes right in that spot.
Oh my God.
And they all came back up. This was not a glorious night in Algonquin, Illinois. And pretty much every time I go through Algonquin now, even if it's just driving on Route 31 and going straight through, little shiver every time I pass through that town.
Little taste of cigarette butt.
Little taste of cigarette
It
butt.
might have been better if they had just put the 12-foot python, right in the funnel, and just been done with
or just
it.
put the python on the grill.
Yeah.
Get it over with.
Exactly.
But that's where bloated bluegill came from. It was inspired, and now he is our chicken of the sea. So Five Taco Special pulls their songs from many different avenues.
Yes, yes. One of the other great stories I like, I don't know if we're going to get to this one tonight, but a song called HRG.
Yes.
Which you can find on the Internet Archive site.
Also a very personal song written for a specific
Why
hypothetical.
don't we let Lee tell the story of HRG?
Well, are we gonna do this, or are we gonna save it for another night? Because
I think you should tell the story and then make our listeners go hear the song.
Yes.
So give them a tease, and we all know how
So
good
here's the
Lee
deal.
is at teasing.
He is
I'm all about the teasing.
he is a tease.
Yep. I'm not mean, but I tease.
And you're not fat, so you can be mean.
So I can be
Yes.
mean and teasy.
And teasy.
Yes.
Did I tell you how ripped this guy is? By the way, put your shirt back on. Every time we do a show, halfway through the show, he takes his shirt off, and I can't concentrate.
And it's bad enough that he rubs baby oil all over himself while he's taking his shirt off.
No kidding.
I just can't help myself. You guys get me going. I just got to rip the shirt off. Anyway, HRG in all of its politically correct glory stands for Hot Retarded Girl, which there was again, I guess this is a food industry story.
That's
Maybe we
true.
spend a lot of time at restaurants together. But JDawg and Asian Matt were with me on this particular day, and we were at a restaurant, and we asked the waitress, who was new and clearly having some, general issues dealing with the newness of the job. We asked her to split the check three ways.
Yes, 3 ways.
3 ways. Now, that may sound complicated, but really we had all ordered exactly the same thing.
Yes,
So,
yes.
We're talking about, dividing a $12 check by 3. It really wasn't complicated math. It wasn't one of those situations, where JDawg had, 4 martinis and you had to, figure that out. We just wanted it split straight 3 ways. And what I distinctly remember about the situation was that her face went from the service friendly waitress face, and it went blank.
And she even did the blink.
Yes, and then came, after about 3 seconds, there came a slow blink, as if she was mentally resetting everything in her mind to try and figure out how to divide our check 3 ways while she stood in front of us. As opposed to, okay, you go back to the manager and you say, how do I do this? No, it was right in front of the table. And after the slow blink, she looked at us and said, I don't think I can do that. And we just kind of looked at her, because we all knew that, again, it was like a $12 check. It was $4 each. It wasn't, rocket science.
Yes.
And I don't remember how we resolved that, but as soon as she walked away, we're like, we're writing a song about this girl.
Right.
You know?
And she was young and, unattractive.
Yeah, I was going to say
woman,
young and very good looking.
Yes,
and
yes.
And hence HRG was born, which is the acronym for Hot Retarded Girl, and which the song explicitly states. There's no acronym there to leave you wondering what it means.
Yes.
And yeah, that's kind of where that came from. We thought, what would it be like to date this girl, and how long could you do it? And the song goes through that.
And the song has always been a hit live. And we do
It's
say
true.
we're not, being politically incorrect or mean or anything like that. We're just relaying the story of this young lady.
And when you're telling the truth, it's politically correct.
Yes, exactly.
Well, and what's funny is, the comedic element of it, not to overanalyze, but I'm going to overanalyze, is that it starts as a love song. And so people are like, oh, these three middle-aged guys are singing a love song.
Yes.
And then it busts into, Hot Retarded Girl, and that kind of, that gets a reaction from people when they hear it live.
Yes.
The nice thing about Lee telling this story is because if I told you the story, it would just kind of go like this. Nice boobs. Nice boobs. Nice boobs. Because really, that's all I paid attention to.
Yes.
I thought you were going to say jugs.
Well,
You're
they were
kind of-
juggish.
Juggas, cha-chas. And another side note, not only on archive.org, but all the videos. We have Five Taco Special still has a lot of videos on YouTube, on the old YouTubes.
Okay, that's still around, isn't it?
That is still around. So you
I'm
can
a
just
little out of touch.
search for the actual number 5 Taco Special on YouTube and live versions, studio recorded versions, which is just us in the basement with a mic. But
And if you
But we like to call it studio.
if you
Yes.
actually subscribe to that, you will see every 10 years when we upload a video, you'll know it's there.
definitely. Along with other solo projects, I think you have a video or two up there. Actually, U2 up in Madison is up there. So,
Oh, right.
yeah, there's other stuff. That's
We
good
keep
stuff.
Asian Matt around not only because he's totally humorous and quite good looking, but also
you.
and makes us look good, by proxy.
You ought to see him in just an apron.
With the smell of Penang.
The smell of Penang.
Man.
Penang and Ike.
But Asian Matt is also, going back to his original heritage, is very, very good about keeping a camera on him and
Yes.
always recording the moment. And so, the rest of us guys don't think any of this stuff is special until 10 years later. And fortunately, Asian Matt has the foresight to try and get some of this stuff while we're doing it. And I was kind of thinking about that. I saw a picture today of June Carter Cash and Johnny Cash leaving Folsom prison, and I thought, who had the foresight to take that picture?
Yes,
and
yeah.
now it's absolutely iconic.
Mm-hmm.
And who had the foresight? It's going to be Asian Matt.
Absolutely.
I like it when we look back at these 10 years later and say to ourselves, man, we're a bunch of freaking idiots.
Creative,
Yeah.
freaking idiots.
And it's all documented.
Yes, exactly.
So, we are now rolling up here on about, 57 minutes or so.
Okay.
Good.
I don't know how that happened. We just poured Matt's first drink not too long ago. So, believe it or not, he has not been drunk this whole time.
Almost the whole time, but not
Almost
the whole time.
So, when we get to this point of the show, you know what that means, Lee?
Oh, should we let Asian Matt, diddle,
You
or
know
do I
what?
get to diddle?
You know what? That's a fantastic idea.
What am I diddling?
Matt, why don't you reach over there and grab one of them 6-string pluckers there? We're going to let Matt take this out.
All right.
So you just have to play whatever you want to play,
Just
without breaking
be
your
careful.
guitar.
That's not an expensive guitar.
No, I know. Well, how about we leave with Hey Dave?
We could do Hey Dave,
All right.
which also can be heard on the Internet Archive.
Yes.
Yep. So you can just do that acoustically, and give people a taste of what they're going to hear, and JDawg's going to talk us out.
Very good.
So interlude me there into this outro.
Here we go.
JDawg and Leevis show here, podcast number 8, March 30th.
Where has the time gone,
Where
JDawg?
has the time gone? So if you want to reach us, you can reach us at www.facebook.com/JDawg and Leevis. We post most of our stuff there. You can also get us on Twitter. We're up to 2 followers now.
Sweet.
Well, one's my brother-in-law, but
Hey,
there's some other guy out there.
at least we're off the fleshlight guy.
And he's skinny and mean.
Your brother-in-law?
No, the other guy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So you can reach us
That's probably
at Twitter. I believe it's JDawg and Leevis at Twitter or at Twitter. Still can't figure that
hashtag
out.
Twitter. I don't know.
Hashtag awesome.
Yeah.
And then you can also, if you want to email us, that's jdawgandleevis@gmail.com. Ideas for the show. Or if you'd like to be an in-studio guest, we'll think about it, but it'll probably never happen.
Especially any of our Japanese friends who would
like to come out. How about this? The first Japanese friend to email us at jdawgandleevis@gmail.com can be a guest on the show.
With all expenses paid by the guest.
All expenses paid by Asian Matt.
It should probably also be noted that JDawg is JAWG.
No, that would be JD.
Oh, right,
JWG.
JDawg.
JDawg.
Well, I just didn't want people to think it was
Correct.
JDOG.
We also have to point out, not only is it JDAWG, it's LEEVIS.
Yes.
That's true.
JDawg and
That's true.
Leevis.
Yep.
So you can reach us there. Also, you can reach us on iTunes.
We're on iTunes now.
We are on iTunes. If you go to iTunes and type in JDawg and Leevis, there's the show.
No kidding.
Absolutely. You can download it there, listen to the show, commute your way to work with JDawg and Leevis.
You know, I turned my back for one moment, and we're everywhere.
We're everywhere. I believe right now we are up to 500,000. No. Actually, we're doing really well. We'd like to thank all the listeners out there for tuning in and
Absolutely.
getting us up and going. We got a great start here. Have no idea where it's going, but we don't really look forward to where it's going. Every week is just another week, and we have another guest in studio, and we don't even know what next week's going to bring, but I bet it's going to be good. So thanks again for tuning in to JDawg and Leevis. We're going to let Matt take you out here now with a song that Five Taco Special holds dear to their heart, as it was written for one of our first fans on our MySpace page.
That's true.
My who?
Wasn't it the MySpace page?
It was.
Does anybody remember that MySpace? You want to talk about old school?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you have to be over 19 to know what a MySpace is.
Yeah.
Nobody under 40 listens to the show.
No.
So yeah, MySpace page. He came on and said, "You guys are great. We wrote this song about him. His name was Dave, and he lived in Michigan."
And all we knew was what was on his MySpace page.
Exactly. That's
So-
all we had to work with.
Yeah. And we worked with it. We worked it up.
Let her go.
Hey Dave from Michigan. Oh, I messed it up.
That's all right. That's what live radio is all about.
Hey Dave from Michigan.
It's good enough for me.
Keep going.
Yeah. You're on, man.
You could just do the Hey Daves again.
All right, one more time.
We can do the Hey Dave.
Let's try it again. Hey Dave from Michigan.
That's a little better.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Dave liked it.
Hey Dave from Michigan.
Buenos dias, Francisco reporting for Mexican Word of the Day on the show of Jaime, Dog, y Leevis. Mexican Word of the Day is jerky. To enter the janitor closet, you have to use jerky.